your last name will not represent debt. Your last name will not represent bondage. It will represent freedom. It will represent wealth. It will represent legacy. Your last name is gonna change with you. Ooh. Leave your last name in the comments. Leave your last name in the YouTube comments and Instagram comments. If you're watching on TikTok, I don't care, wherever you are. Leave your last name, because today I'm praying over last names.
Hey man, you a fool for this one?
While we're building these businesses and building these dreams and manifesting all our desires, stress and anxiety is a part of that.
So what exactly is the definition of love?
I've been an adult since I was 16.
I definitely feel like I've transitioned into a better place mentally.
And another part of self-care, self-pleasure, orgasms, they're healing. So
Absolutely.
that part is important.
What's happening? No capping. We with AO, about to get a plate bowl. Pull up to the table. Let's go.
There are more than 20 million millionaires in the United States of America. Let me say this one more time. More than 20 million millionaires living in the US today. And I'm sure that if you're watching this, you are either one or you can most definitely be the next one, period, all right? You see, my friends at Ramsey Solutions did the largest studies of millionaires ever in the history of America, and found out that most of them are hardworking, self-made men and women like yourself. And for us, you know, that is actually good news for all of us. People of color, minorities, white people, you name it, right? Because that means if we put in the work, if we are willing to steward our money correctly, we can all become millionaires. And you really don't need to make a lot of money doing it. So in today's video, I'm going to really show you how $100 can make you $1 million. Let me say this again. How $100 can eventually turn into $1 million. But you know what? It starts with you. It starts with your mindset. It starts with how you see and how you react to money. But you know, when I think about what we are doing and how we are doing things, I'm really pumped about what life is bringing our way, what lessons we're learning from life. But before we get into today's show, I'm going to ask you just a couple of questions. You know, number one, can you hit the subscribe button? Can you join the family? Can you join our tribe? Because I am building a community of young people, all people, minority people who are passionate about having financial freedom and about building wealth and about starting businesses and impacting lives. So I want to personally invite you to be a part of this family, whether you're on the podcast side of things, YouTube side of things, you name it. Hit the subscribe button, and then make sure while you're subscribing, leave a comment. If you're listening to this on podcast, leave a review. And the best review you can do on YouTube is leave me a thumbs up. Then number two, you know, when it comes to building wealth, right? When it comes to how is it that millionaires are becoming millionaires, a good part of it is they have a savings account. They are not spending all of their money. They're saving and investing some of their money. And one of the best ways you can save money is by joining me over at Prize Pool. That's right. For this whole year, I am going to be giving you the resources that will help you build wealth, that will help you get out of debt, that will help you avoid yourself to going back into debt. And one of those things is Prize Pool. You know, one thing I love about Prize Pool is that they're going to give you like 0.30% when it comes to the interest rate. They're also going to give you a ticket that goes towards every single dollar. So if you have $10,000 in there today, they're going to give you 10,000 tickets. If you have $10,000 in there tomorrow, they're going to give you another 10,000 tickets. And these tickets at the end of every single week and at the end of every single month goes into a prize all the way up to a grand prize. You could win $100, $200, $500, $30,000, you name it, just from allowing your money to sit into the account. But again, We have a savings account so that we can actually save money for emergencies. So we can save money to go purchase things like a home. And we're going to talk about some of that today. But what I love about Prize Pool is outside of your main account, but they give you a debit card to go towards your actual savings account. So that way, boom, you have access to it. Now, here's the thing that I really, really, really love. Prize Pool will actually, let's say for an example, you're chosen as one of their members. They will actually might refund your purchase. You never know. So go to anthonyoneal.com/savings. Again, that is anthonyoneal.com/savings to join me at Prize Pool. Here's the very first thing with, what you can do, how to become a millionaire with $100, how to become a millionaire with not a lot of money. First, you got to have some patience. Can I just be real with you? You have to be patient. Wealth is not going to come quickly and or overnight. Millionaires say that discipline, patience, and consistency are the top two contributors when it comes to building wealth. I remember the other day I was driving my car, right? And I was in the right lane, and more than likely, in most states, the right lane is the slow lane. It doesn't mean that you're going too slow, but it just simply means that you're pretty much right around the speed limit. Now, the further you go left, we all know that is the actual fast lane, okay? And so one of the things that I noticed while I was on this road, there was this car, man, it kept going from this lane to that lane, to this lane, back to that lane. Then it would speed up. And then I wouldn't see it for a while. And then I just stayed in my lane. You know why? Because I was like, man, I don't want to waste gas, because right now with the cost of gas right now, I'm just keeping my speed limit, and I'm gonna get to where I want to go, and I'm gonna get there sooner or later. I wasn't in a rush, and I don't want to waste gas, So I stayed in my lane, and boom, I'm just driving. I'm maybe going 5 miles over the speed limit. And then I eventually see the car again. And then when he sees a wide open, he speeds up and he goes this lane, that lane, this lane, that lane. Boom, he's gone. I don't see him again. I'm like, man, this car is really in a rush. But I also noticed that, he's also he's wasting gas. And I'm like, why? Like, why, bro? Just chill. And so then I get close to my exit. I end up seeing the car. I pull up next to him on the highway because he's stuck behind a bunch of cars in his particular lane. And then I pass him a little bit. And then he zooms in right behind me, and we both get off on the same exit at the exact same time. I want you to catch that. I didn't go faster. I didn't go out of my lane to try and keep up with him in his lane. I didn't follow him and cutting curves and doing all that type of stuff. I specifically just stayed in my lane going my speed limit. What am I saying? That sometimes when we're trying to build wealth, we can see what other people are doing. Oh man, they just got the Bentley, or oh man, they just got this Louis Vuitton purse. Oh man, they just did this. Oh man, they have that. Oh man, they're doing this. Oh man, they're going this way. They're going this fast. They're getting wealthy overnight. When we really don't know the things that they're going through and the sacrifices that they're actually making, and watch this, the potential danger that they're putting themselves into. This guy could have caused an accident. This guy clearly blew gas. He clearly went through a lot of gas, because anytime you throw your foot down on that pedal like that, you're wasting gas. You're killing your gas. And so for me, I spent gas. You know what I'm saying? Not spent gas, but of course I used gas to get to where I was going, but not as much, because I was willing to stay within my lane. But check this out. When I got to the exit, while this wasn't a race, I laughed, because I ended up getting to the light before him when he was doing all the extra stuff. And so I want to encourage you guys, be patient and stay within your lane. Identify what are the things that help you. What are the things that you are good at? What are the gifts and the talents God gave you? And just live in that lane. My thing for me, when it comes to building wealth, I don't do debt. I don't finance cars. You know what I'm saying? I don't finance things. I do not do debt. And you know what I had to realize is that sometimes that may make me be 2 years behind other people who use other people's money. They may get into the house of their dreams quicker than I would get into the house of mine. They may get their car of their dreams quicker before I get my car. They may get this particular item quicker and before I may get mine. And that is okay. But you know what? When I get it, it's mine. When I get it, I don't have to worry about ever making a payment on it again. When I get it, I still have peace. I still have freedom. Why? Because I was patient and I was content. The goal for patience, right, is you got to come up with a long-term financial plan on how you will achieve these particular growth goals. And I'm learning to say growth goals, not just goals, because it's going to require growth from within inside of you to get to where, you want to go. I got to raise my seat up. I felt like I was a little low here. It's going to require you to sit down and make a strategic plan. And when you come up with that strategic plan, then you got to work your way backwards. And then honestly, you got to put a time on that thing. Okay, this is going to take me about 3 years to get here. This may take me about a year to get there. And you know what? You have to be okay. You got to be like a horse to where you can't see sideways and you're not looking behind you. You got to look at your lane. You got to look straight ahead and trust the process that has been developed for you. And that is okay. I have a lot of friends who finance things. Great. But you know what? I have a lot of friends too who ended up getting in trouble, especially around COVID time. We have a recession coming. We're in the middle of what we see that is going to be impacting a lot of people's lives. But it's okay. If you're practicing what I'm preaching, you are going to be okay. You know why? Because you own things. The only thing I have to worry about is my mortgage payment. Do you know how peaceful I feel about that? Not just my mortgage payment, but now that I'm a business owner, I got to worry about also providing and paying my employees, their pay. But I still feel good because I have a nice savings account. I live below my means. And you know what? I have it. Here's next. Number 2. You got to get out of debt. Listen, take that $100, right? Let's say if you have an extra $100 a month. Take that $100 and use it to pay off your debt early. Because here's the truth. Debt robs us of our future. It robs us of our dreams. It robs us of the opportunity to do the things with our families the way we actually desire them. And I refuse to allow debt to take me and rob from my kids. I refuse to allow debt to be my beautiful bondage. I refuse to allow my debt, to allow my pain be somebody else's gain and to be somebody else's reward. Ooh! I refuse, I'm gonna say that one more time. I refuse to allow my debt, my pain, be somebody else's family's reward. I refuse to be living paycheck to paycheck to help somebody else live peacefully and fruitfully for the rest of their life. So I'm going to encourage us, if we are in debt, take that $100 and start paying off your debt. You see, because 90% of millionaires have no debt. These are everyday millionaires. These are people who do not make $1 million a year. These are people who are like you and I, making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year. They're school teachers, firefighters, police officers, accountants. These are people who don't make $1 million a year, but they are millionaires because of how they invested their $100. But the very first thing they did with their $100 is they put that $100 towards paying off their debt. 77% of them don't carry a credit card balance. 77% of millionaires do not carry a credit card balance. They don't have any credit card debt. So take that $100 and pay off your debt. Anthony, okay, break this down. Ayo, what do you mean? It's simple, man. I want you to use a debt snowball method. And the debt snowball method is simple. You're going to line up all of your debt, okay? All of it. You can have a $100 credit card, $500 credit card, $1,000 loan, $10,000 car note, not car note, car loan, student loans, you name it. They line up all of their debt, excluding their mortgage, and then make all the minimum payments on it, and they'll take that extra $100 and put it on top of the very first one. When they get done paying that debt, they're gonna take all that money, put it on top of the next debt. When they get done with that, they're gonna take that, put it on top of the next one. Use this $100 philosophy that we're going with today, okay? And pay off your debt. No payments means more money in your pocket, more money you can do for your family, and less money going out into debt. I really want you to think about this. No payments means more payments to your family. No payments to the banks means more payments into your future. No payments to other people's families. Your Wells Fargo's, family last name. Gucci, family last name. Means more money going to the ONeal's family, the ONeal's bank account, the ONeal's future. What's your last name? Oh, that's so good. What is your last name? I want you to type your last name in the comments right now. I want you to leave a comment and type your last name. I'm praying over all last names today. If you're listening to this on podcast, I want you to come over to YouTube, please, and just type in your last name on today's particular show. If you're watching this on Instagram, leave a comment with your last name. I'm praying over last names today. Your last name is a millionaire's last name. Your last name is a billionaire's last name. Your last name is freedom. It represents freedom. It represents opportunities. It represents options. Your last name will be the last name in your family that you've changed for the best. Your last name will not represent debt. Your last name will not represent bondage. It will represent freedom. It will represent wealth. It will represent legacy. Your last name is going to change with you. Ooh. Leave your last name in the comments. Leave your last name in the YouTube comments and Instagram comments. If you're watching on TikTok, I don't care wherever you are. Leave your last name, because today I'm praying over last names. The ONeal family will be free. The ONeal family will not know anything about debt. The ONeal family will have privileges. The ONeal family will have wealth. I feel that one. Boy, I feel that one. I feel it. I feel it. Oh, man, I'm getting excited. All right, let me get back to this thing. Number 3, you got to save for an emergency, okay? I talked to you about, opening up the account and putting prize pool, putting your money to the prize pool account. That's great. Most Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency. Most Americans cannot cover a $1,000 emergency. I'm saying it one more time. Most Americans cannot cover a $1,000 emergency, which is why you have to put your money inside a savings account so you can cover a $1,000 emergency. You see, not having an emergency fund can seriously set you back in your wealth building journey and possibly send you back into debt. So if you don't have 36 months of emergency saved, take that $100 and save it over time until you have enough money you can cover. One of the questions I get asked Anthony often is, Anthony, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I don't have enough money to save $1,000. And you know what? Here's the truth, man. I totally understand. And I get it. And I want to say this too. I really want to say this correctly. I do believe that a huge part of the reasons why we are not becoming financially free is because of two things. Lack of education. The lack of education prevents us from experiencing great opportunities, and then a lack of ownership. Okay? So if you're one of these people saying, you know what, I do not have enough money to put money into a savings account. I do not have enough money to go out and to purchase a home. Here are a couple of things I really, really want to give you. Because, when it comes to number 3, save for an emergency fund, we should also be saving to go towards our home mortgages, to build our dream homes, to actually own something. But before we can actually build up our savings account, we possibly do need to look at our current job and our current particular career field. And some of you all watching right now need to check out my friends over at Bethel Tech, because the tech industry is the industry that is on the rise, and it is the industry that's making millionaires. It is the industry right now that's making 20-somethings 100,000-aires. They're making 6 figures or more a year. I interviewed several young people in their 20s who went from making $20,000 to $100,000, $20,000 to $150,000 within a matter of 9 months because they went through the Bethel Tech program. They are getting Black people, really all people, but I'm really passionate about getting our minority brothers and sisters into the fields that will, watch this, set them up to make the good money so they can be a good steward with that money from Bethel Tech that they get when they get the job, and then they can take that money and go buy a home and have home ownership. Say this one more time. They can have and will have home ownership, but it starts with positioning yourself in the right career field that produces income. Then that income, once we steward it well, we go get a actual, watch this, home mortgage. So if you're one of those people saying, Anthony, I need to step up my money so I can get a fully funded emergency fund, so I can pay off my debt, so I can become a homeowner, I want you to go check out my friends over there at Bethel Tech. Go to AnthonyONeal.com/Bethel. Again, that is AnthonyONeal.com/Bethel. You can change your whole life within a matter of 9 months. You can go making from what you're making today to 6+ figures within a matter of 9 months. And then within a matter of 3 years, you can be making high 6 figures because of this particular tech field. Tech, Facebook, metaverse, you name it. The future is in tech. Get the degree, and check this out. They're gonna give you all a $1,500 scholarship for just being a part of my family. But you gotta click my link in today's show notes. Now watch this. Another thing I really wanna talk about, $100. If you're saving $100 a month, that's $1,200, right? If you're saving money because you wanna get into a home, a lot of you all right now saying, Anthony, how? How? Why should I be saving? Well, because we should be owning some things. We gotta stop paying rent. We need to close the wealth gap by 1, getting into the strong career field, tech, and 2, owning something. And if you're watching this right now, oh, this is so good, man. I'm feeling good about this today. If you're watching this right now and you're saying, Anthony, I'm scared. Should I purchase a home today with this recession thing going on? And Anthony, should I do this and should I do that? You know what? Wealthy people are thinking like wealthy people. They understand the power of home ownership. And what I'm encouraging you to do today is, yes, if you're in a place where you can financially afford a home, yes, you need to get into it. But let's just say, for an example, you're not ready today, but you could be ready 3 months from now. I want you to call my friends over at Churchill and allow them to walk you through the process on how much you should be saving, how much you should be parking into your prize pool account, and let them teach you and educate you on here's what to do. But no one is going to top Churchill when it comes to interest rates. No one is going to top Churchill when it comes to a fast, guaranteed, certified pre-approval. And also, no one is going to offer you an extra $5,000 to go towards your earnest money to make sure that your sellers know you are a guaranteed for sure buyer. No one is going to lock in your interest rate for 90 days. Most banks give you 30 days on that interest rate. But Churchill understands with the interest rate going up higher, they want to lock it in and guarantee you 90 days. And no one is going to beat their interest rate, which is why I use them personally. They finance my homes. They finance all of my friends' homes. And I want them to finance my family's home. So go to AnthonyONeal.com/Churchill. So that's on number 3 when it comes to saving period. You got to save for an emergency fund, save for, big purchases like a home mortgage. And then 3, if you cannot save a lot, maybe we need to look at a new career field. And that's where my friends at Bethel Tech comes into place. Here's number 4, invest into your future. See, compound interest plus time can turn $100 into millions. It is a proven study. Okay. Here's what I tell everyone, especially within this new generation. I get it, man. This new generation, in today's day and time, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Nobody wants to be a Scottie Pippen. Nobody wants to be a Dennis Rodman. Everybody wants to be LeBron James. Everybody wants to be Michael Jordan. And some of us, you're not Michael Jordan. You're not LeBron James. You're a dope Scottie Pippen. You have the anointing to think like an entrepreneur, but you're not an actual entrepreneur. You have the anointing to help an entrepreneur impact lives, but you're not that person. And what I tell everyone is like, hey, the stock market is just like that. The stock market allows you to build wealth while you may not be a homeowner. You may not be an actual entrepreneur. You don't have to be an entrepreneur to be a millionaire. You don't have to own your own business to be a multi-millionaire. Bottom line. So instead of for buying shoes and out here buying purses and out here trying to spend money on launching businesses that you have no business launching, build the foundation of investing and invest into a growth stock mutual fund. Invest into, max out your 401ks, invest into a Roth IRA, maximize the proven investment strategies. And then once you do that, then come over here and play around certain things. But I really want to break down this example for you of how $100 really can make you $1 million. I will always talk about this. I will always bring this thing back up. But here's an example. You have Alina and Aaron. Alina and Aaron are on the exact same page, right? As far as in they're the exact same age. Let's say both of them are 21 years old. They both make the exact same money. They both graduated from the same school. So they're on the exact same page in the exact same season of life. But watch this. Alina started investing before Aaron, right? So she invested $100 every single month for 6 years, which is going to be worth about $16,000. And then she stopped contributing. Period, right? Period. Aaron didn't start investing until the age of 30. He invested $100 every month for years and years and years for the rest of his life, right? But here's the truth that I really want to ask people. I keep drilling this into my tribe's head. Who do you think had more money? Alina, who invested early at 21 for 6 years with her end investment at $16,000. She kept the money inside of that investment account, but never invested $100 ever in her life. Or Aaron, who invested for the rest of his life, way more than 6 years, $100 a month. Who had the most money? You know what? Alina did. Why? Because of the power of compound interest over the period of time. Here's what I tell everyone. When is the best time to start investing? Right now. Now, Aaron, listen, he retired with a lot of money. He's still retired with I think like right around $1 million. But Alina retired with like $1.7 to $2 million because why? She started early. So if you're watching this, and you're in your 20s, and you have a Gucci purse, but you don't have $1,000 in your investments, take the Gucci purse back. Brothers, if you're out here and you're spending $200 on a date and you don't even have $200 invested, stop dating until you have something inside of investments. It's time for us to grow up. It's time for us to start looking at our priorities and start thinking about our future. You know, when we all retire, right? When we all get to this older age, we're going to need about $200 to $300 period, just $200,000 to $300,000 period, just for medical bills. So think about that. Just to keep us healthy as long as we possibly can, we're going to need about $200,000 to $300,000. But the average person is only retiring with around $100 something thousand. Can we just make the right decision with the money that we have today? can we just step back and say, you know what? What can I do today that will set up my future? I can still enjoy life today. I can still do some of the things that I want to do today. I can still purchase some of the things I want to purchase today. But I may not be able to go buy this particular car right now. I'm going to be doing a show on how I was able to purchase my dream car. How I was able to save for as long as I saved, and the strategies on how I did it, how I did negotiating, how long I saved. And I'm going to take you on the journey of where I started to where I'm at now. Because I don't spend money on clothes, right? I don't have a lot of name brand clothes. I really don't spend a lot of money. You see where I spend my money at. Make sure I have a real nice house because I travel a lot. I want to come home to a nice home, and I spend money on my car. But when you come in my house, you're not going to see a bunch of name brand stuff around my house. You're not going to see high-end stuff. You may see Wayfair furniture. I'm going to keep it a buck. But I'm going to have a real nice car. But it took me a while to save. It took me a while to get there because at first I was like, yo, before I purchase this car, I need to have a certain I need to have a certain amount of money invested in a certain amount of money inside of my savings account. Because I don't want to get to my 40, not to my 40, I'll be 40 in a couple of years. I don't want to get to my 70th birthday. I had a great previous 20, 30 years, but nothing invested. So we're talking about the power of $100, right? But here's the truth. Ideally, I want to see you invest 10 to 15% of your gross income inside of investments. I know it's a lot, but that's why, I teach get out of debt first. That's why I believe in get a fully funded emergency fund. Because if you have 100% of your money coming in and 10% of it's going to God, 15% of it's going to your investments, that means you have 75% of the money to actually live with and play with. And that 75%, 25 of that is probably going to go towards your mortgage, right? That means you have 50% that you can live on. And if you have no debt, that's a great amount of money to actually enjoy life with. But if you have debt, then now that 50% probably turns into about 5% of what you and your family have to enjoy. No, absolutely not. I want you to have freedom, but I also want you to have freedom going down the road. Now watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Think about, you make $50,000, $55,000 a year. You invested that $100 up to 15% of your income into all of your retirement accounts, max them all out. You make $55,000 a year. You get $1 million inside of your investments. You live off of the interest of that a month, which would be about in between $7,000 to $10,000 a month. You don't touch the principal of that million plus. You only touch the interest of it. So, with that being said, watch this. You just gave yourself a pay raise. You went from making $55,000 a year to about $75,000 to $100,000 a year just living off of the interest of your principal investment. Then you take that $1 million and you pass that down to your kids. Or you could take that $1 million and, maybe spend $200,000 of it, $250,000 of it, plus living off of the interest, and then pass down $750,000. I don't know. But here's the thing. Because you was making wise moves all this time, you're actually going to end up making more money when you retire because you invested your money properly. Which leads me into the next thing. Number 5 is, buy a home. When it comes to the $100, I really want you to buy a home. Owning a home is pillar to when it comes to wealth building in America today. And most millionaires live in paid for homes. Again, it's a great book called Everyday Millionaires out there. You can also get Dave Ramsey's book. That's what it's called, Everyday Millionaires. And I'm telling you, it's just amazing of how you realize that most self-made millionaires have a paid for home. They got into it, got a mortgage. Once they got out of consumer debt, they started investing. Once they started investing, they started attacking their debt and they paid off their mortgage. You see, $100 probably isn't going to buy you an entire house. It's definitely not going to do that. But you can save it over a longer period of time when it comes to a down payment. Now, when it comes to a mortgage, listen, you guys, when I look at mortgages, my philosophy is if you can do a 15-year fixed rate mortgage, do it. Do it if you can afford it. Okay? The key thing when it comes to your mortgage is really not the 20% down. It's really not the actual 15 or 30 year. Listen, the key thing here is making sure that your mortgage payment is less than 25 to 30% of your net pay. That's the key thing. Okay? You do not want to be living paycheck to paycheck. You do not want to be house broke. Now, here's the most ideal situation. 15-year fixed rate, 20% down, so you can avoid PMI, and you can get out of debt real quick. But the problem is, here's the truth. If you do a 15-year fixed rate, 20% down, this means that you may have to get less house to keep your payment below 25%. The long strive is to get out of debt. But here's what I believe. I believe that if you're in a position to purchase a home, here's how you look at it. Can I put down 15%? Can I put down 20% so I can avoid PMI, private mortgage insurance? And can I do it over 15 years in a home that I want? So that way I can get out of debt real quick. And if you can answer those two yes, go do that route. If you're saying, hey, this is the house that I really desire, I can easily afford the mortgage payment at 25, max 30% of your mortgage. But you know what, AO, I only could put down 10%. I'm cool with that. Just understand that you're going to be paying PMI, and PMI is going to be anywhere between $75 to $100 per $100,000 on your actual mortgage. Okay? If you're on a conventional loan, what I would do is I would try and work hard to get that other 10%, get 20% equity inside of your home so you can refi and get the mortgage, the PMI mortgage off, because that's wasted money. It's not going towards your principal. It's not going towards your interest. It's not even your insurance policy. It's the bank's insurance policy, not yours at all. So I really, really want you to think about that. So if you're in the process of saving for a home right now, what I want you to do is call Churchill Mortgage and call them. Click the link on today's show notes, anthonyoneal.com/Churchill, right? And let them know, hey, I'm in a market to purchase a home either now or within the next 3 to 6 to 12 months. They're going to, pull your credit. They're going to analyze your situation. And they're going to tell you, great, you're ready now to purchase a home. We can get you approved. Or, hey, you know what? You need to work on 1 or 2 things. Do these things. You'll be ready in the next 60 days. Listen, if you're in a position now to purchase a home, now's a great time. And they're going to walk you through the process, okay? They're going to walk you through the process of what you need to be doing when it comes to getting an actual mortgage. And I'm actually about to come out with an ebook with my friends at Churchill to really walk you through everything you need to do to get into a mortgage. So keep it locked out for that. Here is the last thing. Think of other ways you can invest $100, all right? Once your bases are covered, right? You're out of debt. You got 3 to 6 months in your prize pool account. You're investing. You're a homeowner. You've invested into real estate. Think of other ways you can invest that $100. Maybe you take that $100 and you form an LLC and you become a freelance individual in your space. Freelance writer, freelance graphic designer, whatever that is. You can start a small business, because earlier I said everyone can't be an entrepreneur. But I do believe a lot of you all are entrepreneurs, but you're scared to step out on your own. But understand this much. If you're willing to take the heat and take the sacrifices to step out on the assignment over your life, there are benefits with being entrepreneurs. It's also going to come with some stress. Let me keep it a buck with you. But there are benefits of it. So you can take the $100 and start you a freelance company. You can take that $100 and start you a drop shipping or a online marketing firm. You can take that $100 and of equity and put that into like a funding, a seed investment. You can put that into, crypto. You can put that into day trading. You can put that into different things that you may want to try. Because one of the things I'm learning, I can't tell you to do something or not do something because that's not something that I see. Because it's not something that I don't want to do. I'm very adamant about me. I don't invest in single stocks. That's what I do not do. That's what I will teach. But at the same time, I know that there are people out there who are making millions of dollars with it. And boom. I don't do that. I don't knock people who do that because I understand it. But I think for me and for what I teach, we don't need to be doing that. I love freedom. I love actually walking around and not worried about paying somebody else at the end of the month and paying interest and making somebody else's families rich. I enjoy that. That's what I stick with. And I'm gonna keep it a buck with you all. 98% of the people in the world should not be doing that. Shouldn't. Because those of y'all watching me right now have a credit card. Oh man, I paid off at the end of the month. Only 1 or 2 of you all out of 10 actually do it. 85% of the people who say they pay off their credit cards at the end of the month, every single month, no, you don't. No, you don't. Stop lying. Shut the heck up. You're lying. But it sounds good to other people, but then you're going home and you're stressed. Rather than just saying, you know what? AO's right. I don't need a credit card. I don't need to be doing none of this. One of my mentors has a Black American Express. He pays his off every single month. I ain't knocking at him. I am not knocking at it at all. Do your thing. But he is not in debt. But those of you all think, oh, if I want to be wealthy, if I want to do this, I want to do that. I need to go do this and go get this. No, man. No. No. Listen to me. $100 doesn't seem like a lot of money, but if you spend it wisely, it can put you on path to become a millionaire. Just remember to do the 6 things we talked about today. Number 1, you got to have patience. You got to trust that the plan, the route that God has for you is specifically for you. It is for you. Number 2, you got to get out of debt. You got to take that $100 and get out of debt. Number 3, you got to save for an emergency fund. Number 4, you got to invest into your future. Number 5, y'all, we got to become homeowners. I'm pushing this year, man. For the rest of this year, I'm pushing home ownership. The power of home ownership. Number 6, you got to invest into other equity, businesses, and investment opportunities. I'm reminded of Proverbs chapter 10, verses 22, and it says, the blessings of the Lord makes a person rich, and he adds no sorrow to it. The blessings of the Lord. The blessings of the Lord. The favor of the Lord. The assignment of the Lord. The anointing of the Lord. The obedience. Being obedient to the Lord will make you rich. And he adds no pain, no sorrow, no strife to it. Today's affirmation is I am disciplined and consistent with my financial strategy. I am disciplined and consistent with my financial strategy. Repeat that with me, you guys. Type it in the notes. I am disciplined and consistent with my financial strategy. You know, when I think about where I started from, and you guys, I have a long ways to go. Man, I didn't start where I am today. And over this last year, man, it's been a lot of learning. It's been a lot of long nights. It's been a lot of stressful days. And here's the truth. I have a lot more long nights ahead of me. I have some more stressful days ahead of me, but I've learned to just stay in my lane. I have learned to enjoy where I am today. I've learned that, you know what, if I can just have patience and go down the road God gave me, man, everything that I desire will be mine. And I have to say, I've been patient and I'm seeing the fruit of my patience. I trust the route God has me on. I trust that I'm going to be where I want to be. And I believe that for you too. I get it. We'll see some of our friends and we'll see what they're doing and what they have and the things that they're exposed to. But you know what, you guys? Let me tell you, man. I am proof and I am evidence that faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. I remember only having $100 to my name. I remember using that $100 to pay off debt. I remember getting out of debt and putting that $100 into the savings account. I remember putting that $100 into starting my business. I remember starting slow, where I thought I should be way further ahead. I remember comparing myself to others. But here's what I've learned. Because I was willing to have patience and live below my means and wait, I actually got there quicker. And when I got there, I'm able to stay there. Have faith. Keep the patience. Come up with your financial strategy. Your financial strategy. And stick to your financial strategy, not mine. My financial strategy may not work for you. I'm giving you the basics. I'm giving you the foundations of the financial strategy, but you may add something to that that's going to help you do that. We're going to avoid debt. We're going to stay out of debt. That's the foundation. But you may invest into something that I don't want to invest into. That's fine. But stick to the financial strategy, your financial strategy, and watch God do some numbers and miracles in your life, in your family's life. It's your boy, Anthony ONeal. Love you. God bless you. And I'll see you on the next show. Peace out.